10 years after the girl's death, she returned to the living world through her grave, but her tomb was overgrown with weeds and abandoned. It looked like no one had tended it in a long time, yet her parents and younger brother were still alive. So why had no one ever come to visit her? She came back this time just to find out the reason. 10 years ago she had died of cancer, but after the second year of her death, no one had ever visited her grave again. She couldn't believe her loving family would forget her so quickly. So in the underworld for 10 years, she worked tirelessly to earn virtue points. Her merit was enough to be reborn into a wealthy family, but she gave it all up, and used her merit to exchange for a return pass to the living world. She had to know if her family had truly forgotten her, but the return pass came with 3 rules. First, it must never leave her body, or she would be instantly destroyed. Second, she could not reveal her identity to her family. Third, the pass only lasted 7 days. Once time was up, she would be forcefully taken back to the underworld. Her grave served as the portal between the 2 realms. She remembered clearly the day she was buried. Her parents and brother were devastated by her death. So when the underworld envoy came to guide her soul, she refused, and chose instead to work in the underworld, in exchange for the chance to meet her family in their dreams. But after the second year, she could no longer appear in their dreams. She thought they had already forgotten her, but what she didn't know was that her family had never forgotten her. On the anniversary of her death, her mother hesitated for a long time before suggesting they visit her grave, but her father firmly refused, because they didn't want to awaken her lingering attachment. 10 years ago, right after she passed away, she often appeared in her mother's dreams, every time expressing how much she missed her family. She once mentioned in a dream how hard she was working in the underworld to earn enough merit to see them again. Her mother was heartbroken, feeling the calluses on her daughter's hands from overwork. After waking up, she told the dream to their great uncle, a century-old Taoist cultivator. He told them, if the girl couldn't let go, she would never be able to reincarnate. So the family made a painful decision to erase all traces of her from their home, hoping she would give up and move on. But the girl who had returned to the living ran into her parents at the market. Her mother recognized her instantly, but the next second the return pass glowed, and her mother could no longer remember. Just felt she looked very familiar. That was the power of the pass. It prevented family from recognizing her by appearance. The girl noticed they had bought crabs, something she was highly allergic to when alive. The family had never bought them before. This convinced her that her parents had truly forgotten her. Disheartened, she turned to leave, but accidentally dropped her wallet. Just as her mother picked it up and called after her, an out-of-control tricycle rushed toward her mother. Without hesitation, the girl pushed her out of the way, saving her from being hit. Her mother got up in a panic, took out a bandage from her bag, and began tending to the girl's wound. As she returned the wallet, she noticed a photo. It was a family portrait of the 3 of them. Shocked, the return pass lit up, and the photo transformed into a solo picture of the girl. Her mother thought she must have seen it wrong. To thank the girl for saving her, she invited her to their home. The girl accepted, hoping to see if any trace of her still remained. But to her disappointment, nothing of hers could be found. She naturally assumed her family had completely forgotten her. What she didn't know was that in her old bedroom, all her belongings were neatly kept. From her mother she learned that her brother was now engaged, and the house was decorated according to his